Hello, and welcome to another episode of White Album 2's Fan Club Radio. We are reading through episode 83. White Album 2 Fan Club Radio. Tadokanai Koi plays in the background. Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Madoka. Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Madoka Yonezawa, the voice of Setsuna Ogiso. And that was a mistake on the actress's part, not mine. Hello everyone, I'm Hitomi Nabatame, the voice of Kazusa Toma. March is over and you fumbled again. What? This is the first time I fumbled. I don't think so. No way! It's the first time for me as far as I can remember. Really? Yeah. I don't know, but, well, maybe you haven't fumbled your own name that much before. Uh-huh. But you fumbled plenty of other things. Seriously? I don't remember at all. Well, anyway, it's April. It's getting pretty warm. Yep. And the cherry blossoms are in bloom? Maybe. Are they in bloom? I thought it was supposed to be around the end of March. Yeah, that's what they said. The blooming announcement, right. Well, should we go look? I want to go. Let's go flower viewing. Flower viewing? Yeah. It's spring and all. Oh, flower viewing is so nice. As I mentioned in the last episode, people usually put out a nice picnic mat, have some snacks, have some alcohol, watch the cherry blossoms fall. It's a really fun time. Right? Well, there's our event for the spring. Our spring event settled. Yes. All right. Why don't we get going? We got a guest today. That's right. Okay, as our guest this week, we're welcoming Tsuguo Mogami-san, the voice of Setsuna's father, Susumu Ogiso. We'll have lots to talk about with him, so there's a lot to look forward to. Now let's get going. White Album 2 Fan Club Radio, begin! This program is sponsored by Aquaplus. White Album 2 Fan Club Radio. Rena Uehara's new album, Emergence, includes the theme songs from White Album 2 and Tears to Tiara 2. Emergence by Rena Uehara, out now. White Album 2, Fan Club Radio. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our guest. This week, our guest is Tsuguo Mogami-san. Was there something funny? Was something funny just now? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing a bit? Was something funny? No. If you say so. Hello. I'm Tsuguo Mogami, the parental representative. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Thank you. The parental representative. Yes. And this is your first appearance, right? Yes, I'm the father. This is my first time here. Yes. For dubbing, it's been quite a while. Since the dubbing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, since I only showed up once in the anime. Only once in the anime. I mean, they talk about Setsuna's dad a whole lot, but as far as him actually being in it, the anime especially, but even the game, he didn't have that many scenes. You were only there once? Yes, only once. Wow. I guess in my head you were there more. Oh, really? That's just the kind of presence I have. I leave an impression. Right. That's true. I did have a notion that you showed up more. Right? Really? Maybe I just left a lot behind. All sorts of things. Oh, huh. Like regrets? Did you leave regrets behind? That's a weird thing to say. Did you leave regrets behind? Meaning things that I personally regret? I mean, what I left here in the studio is my existence. If I left regrets, I would just be crying at home. You two started in the same year, right? That's right. Yes, our training with Ken Production. Training. Don't just stop at training. What about the training? Your training, yes. In training school, we were in the same year. Yes. I can tell you're super close. Are we? You definitely are. It seems that way, right? That's also a strange thing to say to someone. You don't talk about, you guys seem close when they're not that close. Actually, we've barely talked before. No way! But when we were in training school, right? Yeah, we might not have talked much at all. Really? I guess comparatively, we were both, more the type to do things on our own, I feel like. Yeah, probably. Wow. Doing things our own way. Yeah? And like in class, if something came up like, let's do something, let's do some personal training. Yeah? Yeah. I wouldn't go. Ah, right. You have gone. And afterward, if people said, hey, let's all go out drinking, it would be, oh, I'm going home. Not the type to go along. Wow. Definitely. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. And it's kind of in the culture in Japan. If someone's like, let's go drinking after you do something, it's kind of expected that you go. Unfortunately, it's a really heavily dependent social expectation system on alcohol, but not going along all the time is considered really kind of rude or cold. I don't really go out drinking much either. Right. Still, out of all of them, Nabatame-san really sparkled as an entity. Of course. Oh, knock it off. I'm not joking. I mean it. Sorry, Yone-chan. We just keep talking about us. No, it's totally fine. So at our training school, there were about 40 people. Oh, out of 40 people, yes, there were 40 people in our year. In each year. And Mogami-san was at the top. His evaluations? I was there. Oh, wow! In breadth. It was mostly breadth. No, you were at the top rated. I was not. Everyone was going, Mogami's amazing! Mogami's amazing! Really? I didn't get along with anyone, so I never heard that. Then, okay, it could be different between girls and guys. For guys, it would be Mogami-san. And for girls, it would be Nabatame-san. No, it wasn't. I was a very bad student. Liar. No, well, think about it. This is Kazusa. Of course, Kazusa's voice actress says she's bad in school. Right, of course, Kazusa. So she really does have a lot of ability. But like I just said, it was, nah, I'm going home, over and over. A very aloof existence, as it were. I see. That wasn't the real Kazusa. Kazusa Nabatame. Really, you were just like her. That just means I was a homebody. Well, that's how it was. So, look, nowadays, in the recent jobs I've been doing, I see, when I get to the studio and I say, hi, I'm Mogami, there isn't much of a reaction. But if I say, I went to school with Nabatame, it's always, oh, okay. Yes, I see. That's not true. That is not true. That's the general pattern. Oh, it's so sad to be such an insignificant side character compared to the main heroines of the story. I'm not sure how much of this to believe. Seriously, every part of this is a lie. Oh, it's absolutely true. Should I tell the Dorothy story? No thanks. Should I talk about Dorothy? No need. With a reaction like that, I think he has to tell it now. So when we were in training school, in class, there was a point when we made a drama CD. Okay. I was in the same class as Nabatame-san then, and we did The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Wow. And out of all of the Ken production girls lined up, who do you suppose managed to win the leading role of Dorothy with aplomb? This one right here, Hitomi Nabatame-san. Nabatame? Aw, of course she gets the leading role. She's so talented. Her vocal range is really good. She's really emotional. It wasn't like that. Well, all right. I was Dorothy, though. It was Navatame-san. Actually, we talked about that CD a bit at the meeting earlier. Uh-huh. And at that point, one of the staff said, uh-huh, that if they'd known, they would have asked me to bring it. And then they both just disappeared somewhere. It's been lost. We're both completely free. What a waste. At this point, that could have been something pretty valuable. Definitely. Yeah, it could be valuable nowadays. Yeah, kind of like the recording of the performance of the trio at the end of introductory chapter. Anyone who has a copy of that original DVD, it's probably worth a lot now. Of course, in-game I'm talking, not in actual real life. Seriously? Man. Right? Well, whatever. That's enough about me. Yeah? Okay. What do you think about Yone-chan, Mogami? Well, what a scary question. Uh-huh. Oh, God, I'm nervous. Well, of course, in White Album. Right? We were father and daughter. Right. Yes, we were. But particularly, there was an Aqua Plus game a while back. Uh-huh. Yeah. Called Roots. Right? That I was in. Right? And she was my little brother. What? I was. Yonezawa-san's character was. Yone-chan was? Oh, you were playing a boy. This is often the case with younger boys in Japanese games and anime. They're usually played by female voice actresses just because the high-pitched tone of a child's easier to get out of a female voice actress. Yes. She was my little brother, but now she's grown into my darling daughter. Aww. My gender changed, right? Yes. And when I went to see the concert recently, she was just blooming. Yeah. And I wasn't thinking, that's my younger brother. It was, my daughter is the loveliest in the world. I get it. Well, thank you very much for your praise. That's so funny. That's like really nice friend praise, a little bit of flirting praise. That's really cute. Mogami-san, you really are all over the place in Aqua Plus's games. Yeah. Right? Uta wareru mono, Roots. That's true. And my personal favorite, Dungeon Travelers. Tears to Tiara too, right? Wow. That's a bunch. Baird-san. Baird. But there's more than one of them now. They keep popping up. Hello, we come in pairs. Baird-san, right? Right, yeah. I mean, you really like video games, right? Yeah, I do like video games. So have you, played all of them? Everything you've gotten from Aqua Plus to this point, I mean. Well, no, not all of them. I can't believe it. It still boggles my mind, and this is very common for voice actors and actresses. They'll play parts in these games, animes, and movies, and then they won't actually consume the media. They won't play the games. They won't watch the full anime. They're just so busy, or they just don't have a strong enough interest. And that's just so crazy to me. Like, if I was a voice actress in an anime, I'd probably watch it like 100 times. I don't know, maybe that's self-centered. Fighting games aren't really my specialty. For example, so Aquapazza. Yeah. Yeah? Wasn't really one I got into that much. Right? While the game genre I've tended to like is more the kind where you take it relatively slow. Okay. So, like Tears to Tiara, right? And Dungeon Travelers? Actually, Dungeon Travelers, you might not know what I'm talking about here. I apologize for getting into game fanatic talk. Not at all. It's fine, we'll know. The dungeons in wizardry. See, You look like you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, I know that one. I played that. It's so awkward when people don't know what you're talking about. There's Wizardry, which is a dungeon crawling type game. Right? And on the whole, it feels sort of like that. Right. It's made in a way that isn't super friendly to the user. Yeah, it's the sort of game you play through to challenge yourself deliberately. Exactly. I find that extremely enjoyable. So the games I do play, I get really into. So you go deep. When you get into it. Yes, exactly. If I get obsessed with a game, I go deep. All right. So you must hear about a lot. Right. We should be able to talk about this. Yes, definitely. I'm a gamer too. Really? Yes, I love it. It's so funny that voice actresses aren't always gamers. I look forward to it then. I'm shallow on that point. I guess you aren't very interested in video games, Nabatame-san? I am. I am. I love them. I like video games a lot, but it's shallow and broad. You are? That's not bad either, though. Right? That means you can follow a lot of different people's conversations. Right. Yes, I think that's good. Well, I do understand because I like games. Having a general understanding of a bunch of different hobbies is very good for conversation. Now, Mogami-san, in the White Album 2 anime and game. Yes. You played Setsuna's father, Susumu Ogiso. Yes, I did. Papa Ogiso. Yes. And Papa Ogiso was given the name Susumu. Yes, he was. What, did you suggest that or something? I put a fair bit of pressure on. Seriously? Yes, I applied a whole lot of pressure. Where did you apply it? He's applying it on the mic right now. I applied it in all directions and the name finally stuck. Yes. How much of that is true? I'm guessing most of it is a lie. Yes, well, but he was always just called Setsuna's father, but when it comes to the anime, right? Yeah? The building up of the surrounding world, the details, become more important, right? Yeah. Right. This is very true. A lot of the time, unnamed characters have to pick up names when it comes to the anime. And as someone like Setsuna's father, it's not as big a deal because people don't really pay attention to it that much either way. It's only when it's a main character which has remained unnamed and then they finally name it in the anime that fans tend to go a little crazy, either angrily or happily. It's more important to not patch things up exactly, but atmosphere is important. Yes, and I think that's why he got a name. By the way, did you do an audition? I didn't. Wow. Just about everyone auditioned for, say, Haruki. Yeah, everyone, right? They did that audition, and then Haruki would need an audition, of course. From Haruki to Takeya or Chikashi or whoever. Right? Everyone. Right. Well, I don't really have the voice of a Haruki-kun, I don't think. Haruki-san, maybe. Haruki-san. So someone a little bit more mature, a little bit more on top of things and not childlike, like Haruki-kun is. I guess. Good point. So anyway, I still think it would have been funny if you had. Well, but I didn't do an audition. Right, okay. So it was all from your track record? Yes. Although, looking at this list of all the things I've appeared in, yeah, my vocal tone is really pretty scattered. All over the place. Guess so. Although, your natural voice is on the low side, right? Right, it is. So I assumed Setsuna's dad's voice was fairly natural too. What was that like? Well, when I was recording him, yeah, what the director generally told me was, Uh-huh. Yes. When he gets mad, he still doesn't raise his voice. Ooh, I love that. I love that behind the scenes info. Because yes, Setsuna's dad is the type of person to calmly and rationally talk things out about things that he doesn't like. He's that family man. Have the family meetings. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I was being told that sort of thing constantly. Okay, yeah. Now, my personality is sort of like a kettle. So if I see something in a script and go, he's probably angry here, I get pretty angry. All right? Right? But I swallow that down. Uh-huh. So in a sense, rather than blowing up for real, it was something that would actually seem way scarier. Huh. Ah, that is way scarier. Oh, I hate that. I hate thinking about the angry dad that they wanted me to do. So I kept up a very strong awareness of that as I went. Oh yeah, the way that goes, if you really got steamed up when you got angry, right? You would lose some of that dignity. That makes sense. Right. So you were thinking about that as her father while you were acting? Well, yes, I suppose I was thinking while I acted. No, I know that. I was thinking, yes. Such good friends. It really was fun, though. Also, at the beginning, since I knew I was being a dad. I tried adding a few years to my voice. Yeah. But they said, you can just do it normally. Just do it normally. Just use your voice as it is. So now it's like, yeah? Stop this right now. Right? Yes. I started thinking of him as young, or at least my personal sense of him feels fairly young. Well, and her mom is very cute and sweet too, so there's a good balance in that way. That's true. Right. I'm dying to know how he wooed such a sweet lady. Absolutely. Oh, I definitely think it was her mom who fell in love. Oh, wow. She fell in love with me, or rather, Susumu, because of how straightforward he was. He's so honest. So that's the backstory you've created, Mogami-san. He's so straightforward. The he is so straightforward feeling. Man, can you imagine if another character from White Album 2 was straightforward? It'd be a completely different game. Well, it's right there in his name. He would be very, very rigid about proposing. He'd go, this is something the man is supposed to do. And he'd do a lot of, nervous, rigid man. Aw, that's cute. As he proposed, Susumu would. Susumu would. Yes, that's the kind of guy Susumu is. Well, and I mean, you played the game, right? Thoroughly. Completely. See, this is the type of person I would be. I can't imagine not finishing the game. Oh, nice. Yes. Wow. Now I'm curious about which route you took. Well, when I was at a different studio with Naba, the very first thing I said was, you know, I played White Album 2. It's really compelling, isn't it? Right. I went, hey, he played it. Wow, I'm really happy to hear that. You really killed it. So there are a number of different routes, of course, right? Yes? And first of all, I played the PC version. Okay. And after that, the PS2, PS3 version, and the Vita version. 3. Yeah, just to be clear, there's never been White Album 2 on the PS2, only PS3, PS Vita, and PC. All of them? I did. From the beginning? That's impressive. I did. Wow. So after I'd cleared it the first time, I thought, Kazusa's pretty cute. from that first playthrough. Yes, yes. I see. In I see? Oh, all of it. Ah, all of it. Or I see and coda, I mean. Right. Huh. After the first, when I started my second playthrough from the beginning, my fondness for Kazusa went boom again. I feel like that's how a lot of players react, especially the second time through, because you know what she's thinking, whereas the first playthrough, you didn't really know. You knew she had a little crush. You didn't know the extent of things. Second playthrough, now you're like, wow. Okay, I was thinking about asking you who you prefer, Setsuna or Kazusa. Kazusa. Definitely Kazusa. That was a quick answer. Your daughter. Your daughter is cute, of course. See, I'm not giving my daughter to anyone. I'm not giving her away, but Kazusa. That's complicated. Not an object of romantic interest. I won't let anyone lay a finger on Setsuna, though. But you played another role too, right? I did. Listen. What? What is it? My casting changed around the time of the anime, right? I played her teacher. Yeah? Right. In Sworn Enemies, which was one of like the bonus drama CDs, one of the after story type things. But then it was Itaru Yamamoto-kun, whose face resembled mine. What? He was cast because your faces look the same? Face casting? Face casting. Yes, I'm sure of it. No one would know, though. I don't think I saw you written as Sua-sensei, though, in the script. Oh, teacher. Like homeroom teacher. That was written there. It just said teacher. Right. So that was, well, it was a bit different, but his face looked different too. How sad would it be to be face cast in a visual novel because nobody sees your real face. They just hear your voice. And like, yes, you do these live events. Once it gets popular, you might do concerts, you might do talk shows. But your voice is the most important part. But here, for example, since the anime. Yeah? People are wondering whether there might be a follow-up, since the next pivotal point is in the game. Right? Yeah. In CC, and when I think about Itaru-chan coming back and grinning all big like, oh yeah, that's Toma. She's really changed a lot since then. I hate it. Hate it. Yeah, I don't blame you. Right? Yeah, it really did surprise me. I thought there was something different. Right? Maybe. Maybe when you said you felt like I'd been there more, it was because of Itaru-chan in the studio? What? Because you look the same? Because we look the same. That's ridiculous. That's not the reason. That's not it. Is that so? I can tell you apart. Oh, please do. Please do. I can tell you apart too. Oh, I sure hope they can tell them apart. It's really sad if they don't. I'll line up some pictures of us later, right? And ask you who's who. Sounds good. I'm sure our listeners are looking up pictures too. Oh, to compare the two. Yes, exactly. People who are curious about it. Yes. So why don't we move along? All right. Oh, to the mail. We've got mail. It looks like we've got some mail. Oh, nice. I'm not surprised. We've got some. Everyone wants to join the group. So, let's go. Yes. All right. This is from Borderman-san. Okay. Yone-san, Naba-san, Mogami-san. Hello. Ah, hello. White Album 2 is full of moments that make your stomach hurt. But in my case, the scene that hurt the most was during Kazusa's route in Coda, when he went to the Ogiso house to cancel the engagement. All right. Especially when Susumu-san said Haruki had absolutely nothing to do with our family. when I thought about the association built up over the course of IC. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't that much. Like, yes, Haruki came to visit, but it wasn't like he was constantly hanging out with the mom and dad and going out for picnics and lunches with the whole family. Like, come on, it was a high school thing. It was extraordinarily painful. I feel that as the scene at the Ogiso's place progressed, the story, everything got heavier and heavier. My question is, when you were dubbing, were there any scenes that were particularly difficult because you had to do a lot of retakes, for example, or acting it was hard? P.S. When Ono-san was on as a guest, Susumu-san's wife and daughter were saying it was lucky she didn't take after her father because his face was big, or something like that. But I like him a lot. Okay. His face is too big. What is this pattern of putting me down and then bringing me back up again? No kidding. Well, my own face is pretty big, so I guess I can't really say anything. Really? It is. My hat is huge. Even my hat is huge. It is. Overall, oh no, your hat, is it? Oh, really? Yeah, in Japan, and this is more an expectation of women, but having a slim face is such a beauty standard. You are expected to have a slim face if you want to be beautiful. Men, yes, to a point. Like the chiseled jaw isn't necessarily something people are looking for in Japan. But yeah, so as a compliment, people say, oh, your face is so slim. Yes, you were about to say my hat is tiny compared to my face, weren't you? It's not even really on your head. It looks like it's sitting on top of a boiled egg, doesn't it? Like the bottom part of it is swollen. No, you're wearing it, okay? But about this question, right, yeah. About performing scenes, this exact one. Right here. Ah, this one. I see. This exact one, it's where he's actually the angriest. Right. Yeah? But he doesn't say. Well, his inner anger comes through, but he's doing his utmost to keep it about us, the household. Yeah. This is exactly where you see that the most. Ah. The director was talking to me a lot like, okay, do it like this here, do it like this here. Ah, you discussed it. Yes. Man, I'm sure Haruki-kun is shaking here. God, it hurts though. It does, it's awful. Yeah. I start thinking, hey, we could just keep this relationship going, couldn't we? Yeah? But no, don't think about that. Can't forgive Haruki. That's how you end up. I go into no forgiveness mode. I think that's a very fatherly thing to do after all that. Oh, all right. Should we keep on? All right, and we will stop there for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Fan Club Radio, and I'll be back with part 2 shortly. Until then, I hope you take care. See you.